going on, guys? Okay, so this 2015 S550, like I said, this car is in for a pulley upgrade, which we've already removed the stock pulley. So the pulley that was on the blower, as you can see here, is a 370, and we are now going to a 350. So that should raise it a couple of pounds. This car, like I said, we put the Procharger on it a few months back. We also did, you can see them down there, Corsa long tube headers, Corsa full exhaust all the way back. Got the bag here. So we got a new keyway, so we can pop this old keyway out. Slide the new keyway in here, boom. And then we got our new pulley. We're gonna slip this Johnny on here. And then now that we got the pulley on, new washer and new bolt. Check something here. Yeah. Also, when you change them out, you're going to want to put a little Loctite on this bolt, just to make sure it doesn't back out. So grab some Loctite real quick, put it on the bolt, torque that on down, put the belt back on. As you've seen in the previous video, or I'm going to stick it in the beginning of this video, we already went ahead and swapped the pulley out on the supercharger. So we went from a 3.70 down to a 305 on this P1X setup. So that should net us, I think, 2 more pounds of boost. And then John's already started. He's got the battery out of it. He's already started the clutch job. We're about to do a McLeod clutch in this thing. Alright guys, check it out. These are the goodies we got going into the S550. McLeod RST twin disc, a flywheel, a slave cylinder throwout bearing assembly, and then we've got vertical links from BMR and cradle lockout from BMR. So we'll tighten up the back end of the car and then make sure it holds all these horse flowers it makes with this Procharger kit that's on this thing. We did this Procharger, I don't know, probably about 6-7 months ago. So turn the boost up, adding a clutch, some suspension components. We'll get this pony trucking on down the road. So installing the cradle lockouts, the first thing you're going to want to do is pull the wheel off. So we'll knock that out real quick. So as far as what you're going to need to get this disassembled, you need a 15mm socket. To get this loose, there's a 18mm nut on the back side. It's got a lock tab to hold it, but I like to hold a wrench on there anyways, not to put stress on that lock tab. And then you've got a 18mm bolt up here on the front. So we'll go ahead and get these removed and get this link out and prepare the new link for installation. When installing the new vertical link, make sure you put the beveled edge into the bevel on the knuckle there. Now we've got the new BMR billet vertical link slid into place. Make sure you put a little grease or lubricant on this and help slide everything back in there. Now that we've got all that back in place, we'll tighten everything back up and repeat the same process for the other side. And then we'll show you how to do the cradle lockout after. Stay tuned. Give you all one last look at what the vertical link looks like, all complete. So like I said, we'll repeat the process on the other side and then start installing the cradle lockout. So when you're doing the cradle lockout, first step you're going to want to do is, you see that 21mm socket, or bolt, excuse me, there's 4 of them, 2 on each side, and then these, what size are the smaller ones? 12, 13? 13mm bolts. Remove those. And you're going to want to loosen all 4 of them. Once you get those removed, loosen up all 4 21s, and then after you remove the 4 21s, you're going to pick one side of the car, support the subframe, the cradle, and then remove the 21mm on that one side completely. Once you get the one side bolts all the way out, you see that you have a little bit of gap there. The reason for that gap is you have to put these cups in. Now if you see, the cups are different sizes. The larger cup goes in the front and the shorter cup goes in the rear. So we're going to go ahead and place the cups in the top, on the front and the rear. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Taller cup in the front and the shorter cup in the rear. So now that we got the cups in, we're going to go ahead and raise the suspension and cradle back up into place. Other way. After you get both tops in, then you're gonna want to go ahead and get your support bracket in there. Do not install the bolts that go in here yet, but put your 21 back in and snug it up. Now in the rear, you're going to put this lock mechanism, if you will. It's a piece of flat stock turned up 90 degrees on both ends that is keeping the bushing centered. So you're going to want to place that in and then put your 21 back in and snug it up. Not tight, just snug it up, and do the same on the front. Just snug it up, not tight, and repeat the same process on the other side. So now that you've repeated the steps and done the same process to the other side of the cradle, you're going to go ahead and tighten up your 4 21mm bolts and then line up your smaller 13mm bolts and get them started. We've already tightened everything down, and John's already gone through and tightened the big 21mm up to 129 foot-pounds. And then on the smaller 13s, you're going to want to torque those to 41 foot-pounds. So he's going to go through and torque those down to 41. And then once everything's torqued down, you can go ahead and put your wheels back on, because you've successfully installed the vertical links and cradle lockouts on your 2015 Plus Mustang GT. Alright guys, so this is made a couple of runs now with the new pulley set up, and right now we got this thing sitting at 681 and 505. So making some pretty good power now. I make a few other small changes, but I think that's about where we're going to end up. I don't think we're going to make too much more than that. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on everything that's been going on. So Crashes del Sol. This car been sitting for a while, as you can see by the tag. He wanted to get it back up and running before he starts putting some money back into it, bring it on back to life. So we did a starter, radiator, battery, fixed some exhaust leaks, fixed a power steering leak, replaced the door handles and door locks. So they were broken on the outside. And got all that squared away. So we're gonna once over it one more time and make sure everything's good, ready to pass inspection, so we can get this thing back on the road and get it back in tip-top shape. And then on the GT500, got that car all squared away, put a pump in it. Now it rips like a tater chip, making good power. Gonna talk with the customer. The rear end's making some noise. We're gonna see if we can't talk him into maybe doing a gear change, and or at least fixing the howl in the rear end. And then the S550, she's all wrapped up. You hear that Prochager singing? Car turned out great. Ended up making 681 to the tire. As you can hear, we did a little bit of a ghost cam to it too. Said this is a stick car too. We just did that twin disc McLeod RST, vertical links from BMR, and a cradle lockout from BMR. So with the pulley change, this thing's ready to rip. So you catch this one out on the street, get ready for a good run. But that's it for the stuff that's about to leave. We got some more content coming for you. LJ's truck and Kyle's truck. One's a LS swap, so that should be pretty cool. Stay tuned.